There you go.
Hello. Beautiful, beautiful day today. This is Coach Moo. I hope you had a great week. Let's get in the word. Today, keywords is time, timing, and process. I've been saying for weeks, and I'm like, I want to talk about timing is everything. Timing is an all-purpose tool. Timing is so important to life and business. It's important for purpose and promises and planning and preparation and processing and profitability and productivity and providence and opportunity. What's providence? Provide in advance. God's protective care in advance. It's also good at problem solving, providence, and prophetically. I'm telling you, timing is so very important. And when I think about timing, timing can work for you and also against you. You can have insurmountable problems coming at the wrong time, and sometimes you can say the wrong thing at the wrong time. So timing can work for you or against you, and you have to be able to use that tool wisely. And when I think of timing, I think about a childish illustration of it, timing. Double Dutch jump roping. When you are looking at those ropes synchronizing, you can either get hit or you can get tripped by the ropes. And that's the same in life and business. Being able to say, okay, it might be the right time, but it's the timing and the rhythm right. You have to be able to jump in between those ropes and say, wow, this is the right time. Same with opportunity, same in business. And we're going to talk about a number of scriptures that talk about time, that talk about timing, and that talk about process. When God created the earth, as long as the earth exists, God promises in Genesis 8:22, as long as the earth exists, there's going to be seed, which speaks of potential, time, which speaks of process, and there's going to be a harvest that speaks of produce or production. So remember, we're going to tackle the time, which is normally the tough part in the middle. We're going to tackle that time, because whenever you speak of time, you got to speak of process, because it takes time and there's a process attached to that time. It's easy to sow your seed of potential. And of course, everybody wants the produce or the production of the harvest. But in that middle, we lose patience with that time and that process and that timing. And so when we talk about timing and seasons, it says in Ecclesiastes 3:1, to everything there is a season. And when you talk a season, you got to talk about the reason for the season. And there is time and time to process that purpose. So when you think of seasons in Ecclesiastes 3:1, you have to think of the reason, the cause for the season. And you got to be able to read the season right and the timing and the time correctly in order to produce that purpose. So we look at First Chronicles 12:32, and we meet up with this tribe called Issachar. And Issachar means he will reward. And these were men who had an understanding. They were able to discover the purpose for the season or the purpose for that time. They could feel, they could sense, they could have consideration. They were able to discern the purpose and the meaning of the timing, and therefore they understood what to do in that time. When you understand the purpose of that season or the purpose of that time, you are close to understanding what to do in that time. You know not to wear a winter coat in the summer season. So that's why it's so important to be able to read the purpose for the season, the reason for the season, so you know what to do in that. And sometimes we need coaches, sometimes we need advisors to teach us what to do in a particular opportune season. Esther needed a Mordecai, who was like her coach, to tell her, this is the season. This is why you were promoted as queen in Esther 4:14. for such a time as this. We have to understand when this is for such a time as this, when to read the seasons and when to do and not to do. Do in here speaks of what to deal, how to execute, how to take advantage of the season. Because God provides opportunities, but man is charged with producing the right outcome in that particular season. We also learn in 1 Peter 5:6, we have to humble ourselves under the mighty hand of God. That may be the mighty hand of God may be apostles, it may be the pastors, the prophets, the evangelists, it might be the pastor, it might be the teacher. You got to humble yourself under God's mighty hand so that he may elevate you, exalt you at the due season. What's due season? That's translated as kairos, that proper set time, knowing the right time to execute the critical action, that opportune, that decisive time when to strike. We got to understand that it's important to understand time, understand the right timing, and understand that we have to respect the process. We won't be able to become beautiful butterflies if we won't go in the cocoon. If we want to earn our wings soon, we have to respect the process and the proper timing, or we'll get hit or tripped by the ropes if we don't respect the time, the process, and the timing. For such a time as this, God might be putting you in the right opportunity and strike at the right time so that you can reap the rewards of that season, of that timing, and be able to reap the harvest. This is Coach Moo. I'm out.